got this. I literally send podcasts every day to my friends as audiobooks. This is nothing new. Okay, let's go. Let me tell you a story of when I was a little girl and I ended up drawing something. And this event turned out to be the biggest reason as to why, up until today, I've always been scared of expressing how I feel to people, and I've been sugarcoating things and not fully speaking my truth. Hi, I'm Sade. Welcome to Soul Revival, the podcast. Let me tell you a story of when I was a little girl and I drew a picture that ended up becoming the biggest reason as to why, up until last week, I've been scared of speaking truthfully from my heart. So let's dive in. I'm Sade, welcome, and this is Soul Revival. It's my very first big podcast, and as you can see, I'm super excited because we've got lights. We've got pink lights and red lights, and doesn't this look super cool? I have recorded this intro maybe 15 times today. I'm not even going to count the times of yesterday, and I just realized I need to walk the talk. And part of this episode is about speaking truthfully and not being scared to express yourself the way you desire to, and not sugarcoating anything just because of other people's feelings and how other people might react. And I realized that I have been doing the same thing. I literally recorded this a few times, and something just clicked to me this morning on the train on my way here that I need to be practicing what I preach. And I'm ready to speak honestly and truthfully from my heart. And to do that, I don't need to overthink introductions. I don't need to overthink a plan or a structure. I just need to be honest. And so now we're going to keep rolling and let's go. I want to talk to you guys today about a story that I recently remembered last week from my childhood. Backstory, I moved back to London in October after living in Australia for 4 years, and I've been on a healing journey for quite some time. And I thought in October when I moved back that I was ready. I thought, yes, I'm ready. I'm going to start my own show, my own podcast. I have healed. I've done the work. I finally feel like I am myself and I'm thriving. I feel great. And then it's taken me 6 months of overthinking, and I just kept feeling like there was something still blocked in my throat. And although I had done what I thought was enough work to speak from my heart and speak openly and not be scared of what I say, there was still something energetically blocking me. Until last week, I did one of the Wheels Reinvented weekly exercises. I did one of these exercises, and it healed a big memory of mine. So let's get into this. The story starts when I was probably, I reckon I would have been 7 or 8 years old. I was in Italy. I used to live in Italy with my mum and my brother. And at the time, I didn't really like school. As you can see, I'm a black woman, and in Italy, especially at the time when I was going to school, there were a lot of people that were not really inclusive to diversity and not really open to it. And I experienced quite a lot of bullying in school, and I often felt misunderstood, even in my home with my family. And there was this one teacher. She was my maths teacher. She was my favorite teacher, and we really clicked. I felt like I could be myself with her. I would always laugh. I was good at maths, so she would praise me, and yeah, I I loved her. She was my favorite teacher. And one day I must have wanted to express that. So I decided to draw. I love drawing. I actually just finished my art therapy course, and I I just believe that through drawing you can communicate so much that's going on deep inside. And now that I've spent the past 2 years studying it, I realized how I used to use as a kid therapy and art as a mean of therapy, and we're going full back circle to now. Anyway, I was saying I one day drew a picture of me and my favorite teacher, and I didn't think anything of it. Um, I didn't think any of it until my mum found it. So in this picture, there was me and my teacher, which I absolutely adored, and I drew a speech bubble coming from my mouth that said, "I wish you could be my mum." And I will go into how I understand how that would have caused a specific reaction in any parent finding that. I will go into that, don't worry. I just want to talk about first how this impacted my view of the world and how it impacted, even now I'm speaking quietly actually, how it impacted my communication skills and my self expression. So I drew this picture where I was just having fun with my teacher, and I had that speech bubble that said, I wish you were my mom." And I didn't think anything of it. I knew that it was probably gonna be not received in the best way. So I remember I used to hide that drawing, until one day I go into my room, and I used to share a room with my brother. I go into my room and I see my mom sitting on the bottom bunk, and she was furious, sad, a mixture of feelings. And I think my brother was there as well. And she had found the drawing. So, yeah, you can imagine how that went. She was screaming, she was sad, she was upset. But most importantly, I think the worst thing that happened in that moment for me, she was also numb. So she looked at me and she said something along the lines as, "If you want her to be your mum, that's fine. You don't have to be my daughter anymore," or something like that. I don't remember the exact words. And I know my mum will probably watch this. I just want to say I love you lots. And we're kids. I was a kid, so obviously I was learning and I didn't realize the impact of those things. Anyway, I just want to say, yeah, that reaction, she had a very strong reaction of along the lines of, "If you wanted to be your mum, let her be your mum. I'm not your mum anymore." And I was mortified. When I was revisiting this memory last week, I remember physically the pain and how upset I was, not only because of the words she said, but mainly because that I had caused all of that hurt and pain in her, just because I drew something that at the time, I don't want to say I believed, because it's not like I wanted to replace my mom. But as a kid, I didn't have the best open relationship that I wanted, and I felt a certain way about my teacher, and I just wanted to be able to communicate on the same level with my mom. And as a kid, you don't really realize how you can have feelings, different sort of feelings for different people. It doesn't mean that one has to replace the other. So yeah, like her reaction, I think even the few weeks and days after that, something had changed, and I think something changed from that up until this day in my relationship with my mum. We never discussed that. We probably will after this video comes out. We never discussed that ever again, but it was such a traumatizing reaction for me that after that I have blocked and filtered out everything that I would say, write, do, anything. I just didn't want anyone to ever feel that hurt again because of something that I felt and something that I expressed. How this manifests today, it manifests in a way that I don't think a lot of people know me. Or a lot of people don't know the true me because I sugarcoat things, or I don't fully express how I feel with my friends. Say there's something I don't want to do, I have the confidence now to say no, I don't want to do it, but I try to tiptoe around the fact that maybe I don't want to hang out with you, maybe I don't agree with your opinion, or even with my ex at the time, a lot of our problems could have been solved if I honestly said, look, I don't think this is ever going to work with us because we want different things. And if I just said that confidently. Yeah, and when I did this exercise last week that we'll go through later on, and I want to help you as well with unlocking certain memories that block in your voice. I just didn't realize how ashamed as well I was of expressing my feelings, and things started to make sense of patterns I've been experiencing, lessons that maybe I didn't learn the first time, and how my even my fear of making my own podcast show. I just realized that it's all connected to this memory. Like I had another set of traumas that have caused me to maybe not speak my truth. But I've been working on those type of events and how those have impacted me. And I just realized that was not it. My biggest reason as to why I'm scared of expressing my voice and speaking truthfully from my heart is because when I have in the past expressed something that to me was important or had a deeper meaning, I was met with a very negative, emotional, deep reaction. And I'm not justifying it. I don't want to justify it because I can imagine how hurtful that would have been to receive. But that's also how I felt at the time, as in, I felt like I wanted a deeper connection with someone that was a mother figure. Oh, I'm going to receive a big message after this. Anyway, yes, I just decided like enough is enough of speaking and just living in your shadow. And just because I hurt somebody, and just because at the time expressing how I felt had such a big reaction, it doesn't mean that my words are not worthy of being spoken. It doesn't mean that I shall have to hide my truth. It doesn't mean that I can't fully express who I am. Just because my words, my thoughts, my views, my feelings may hurt someone, it doesn't mean they're not worth being spoken. Yes. And on that topic, with my mum, I can understand now how these were hurtful words to hear. Looking back at it, I could have, obviously I was a kid, so I couldn't have known better. But looking back at it now, I can only learn from what I said, and I will obviously, whenever I have my own kids, I will want to have a very open relationship where we can communicate without fear of being judged or hurting someone just because of your feelings and your words. And we all have different opinions, we all have different experiences, and I want myself to be able to communicate how I feel and word out how I feel about someone, a situation. And yeah, so that memory was revolutionary. I didn't realize that this was one of the big blocks. And like when I look back, I'm very proud of the healing journey that I've done. And this, like, the fact that I'm here right now, I am gonna keep looking back. Like, the fact that I'm here right now in a studio with a microphone, recording, that's a massive step. Like, for any of you that know me, you know that I've been wanting to have my own show for so long. And here we are. This is the episode number 1. It's called Soul Revival, and I'm here to help you be empowered, help you heal from traumas, complex traumas, not so complex traumas. And I just want you to fall in love with yourself deeply and just start shining from within. We all deserve to be our best versions of ourselves and to live life and enjoy life, no matter what you're going through, no matter where you've been. And that's the purpose. That's the purpose of Soul Revival. I want us all to shine and thrive and just be so in love with ourselves that we are all here together and we just make the world a better place. So, one exercise I would like to do with you guys today, after unpacking this memory, I would like to do an exercise with you guys. So maybe I can't play music in the background, so maybe grab a playlist, like some nature sound playlist, or I love native flute sounds and ocean waves and pianos. If you just put some relaxing music, we'll do an exercise right now where we can unlock some shame or unlock some hurt or pain that maybe a memory or a blockage that's stopping you from speaking truthfully and authentically. This is an exercise I learned from Mami Anami, who she's an incredible person. She does a lot of trauma work, and I'm currently doing one of her 10-week programs. And this is an exercise I learned from there, and it was so life-changing. Again, like, we're here in the studio, what? I have a microphone. There's a microphone right here. Anyway, yes, so I want you guys to get in a safe space. Maybe turn down the lights a bit, or you can do it anywhere, to be fair, but it would be nice if you're not interrupted. And just, you can play some music in the background. You don't have to, however you feel most comfortable. And maybe I'll come closer to the mic so I can speak quietly. All right, and you can close your eyes if you like to. I want you to, just disclaimer, if you're not a visual person, that is absolutely okay. You can journal as well. You don't have to do this with envisioning certain memories. You can also journal and it will come up to you. Everything that you've ever experienced, heard, felt, seen, ever since the moment you were born or conceived, to be fair, you will remember. It is in your subconscious. So you might think that right now you can't remember. It's just learning how to remember certain memories. So this is an exercise we're going to do now where we'll head back into a specific memory and see what pops up and see how we can clear that and heal that. Because I don't know about you, I don't want to spend my life healing. I just want to do the work once and then maybe freshen up every year, do a little, new session. I don't want to, I spent years where my personality was connected to, oh my God, I'm healing, I'm doing inner work. I'm so done with that. Like, I realized I've reached a point where I worked enough for myself that I'm so ready to just live and thrive and not have to learn the lessons 500 times. I know lessons will come and go, things will still happen, but once you learn the system that works for you to heal, you don't actually have to spend your whole life healing. You can just do it once properly. So I want you to learn a few of these exercises that we'll be going through. So that way you can be your own therapist and you can just heal whenever, wherever, for free, because you can do your own work. You can heal yourself. Okay. With that disclaimer, let's start. I want you to remember the most recent time. Think about the most recent time and just give me the first answer. Don't think deeply into it. With this exercise, just give me the first thing that comes to your mind or that comes to your hand if you're writing. Don't overthink it. It may sound silly, it may sound funny. Just let it happen, let it flow. I want you to think about the first time, the last time, so the most recent time that you felt ashamed of what you're about to say. I want you to feel and think and remember the most recent time that you almost said something but you were scared of hurting somebody else. The most recent time where you felt like you couldn't speak truthfully. I'll give you a few seconds to remember this memory. Can you remember the most recent time that you felt this way? Now I want you to describe to me, how did that feel? How did it feel when you couldn't speak your emotions, your words, just because you were ashamed or scared of the reaction? Can you feel it in your body? Where can you feel this feeling? You're more than welcome to pause if you need more time. Where can you feel this in your body? Is this energy moving fast? Is this energy stagnant? Does it move through you? Does it flow? Where can you feel it? Is it, is it in your throat? Once we've located the feeling, you can picture it, you can see what it looks like, or you can feel what it looks like. Once we've pictured it, can you remember the first time you ever felt this way? Just give me the first memory that pops up where you felt the same way that you just described right now. Now, I want to go back to this memory, the first memory that you have of feeling a certain way where you couldn't express how you truly felt. Now that you have this memory, can you describe the scene? Can you describe what's going on? Can you describe how does little you feel? I'm going to use she because I'm going to talk about myself. But whatever pronouns you need to use, feel free. How is your little girl? What is the scene? What's happening right now? Where is she? Is she safe? Now in this picture that you have, what does she need to hear? Is there anything that you, as a third person, if you enter the scene, you with your age now, what can you tell little you? What does she need to hear? And I want you to say it the way for example, for me, the way a little girl would need to hear it. So don't use big words. Does she need you to tell her you love her? What does she need to hear? For me, I needed to tell her, it's okay. How you feel, it's absolutely okay. Just don't be scared. You can tell me how you feel. You can tell her how you feel. You're not wrong. If this is how you feel, you can say it. Just because somebody is upset because of the picture you draw, because of how you feel, it doesn't mean you can't say it at all. It doesn't mean you have to be quiet. What is it that she needs to hear? Is she safe there? Does little you need to be removed? Do we need to move them somewhere else? So what we can do now, does she need to go to the park and eat ice cream? Where else can we take her to change this memory and make it a safe memory, or make it a memory where you can express yourself. Does little you want to go to the park and eat ice cream? That's okay. We'll take her there. So the importance of this exercise is to change the memory on your subconscious level. So we're gonna take I'm just coming out now. You can read this exercise later once you know the instructions. I just want you to, if the person is like younger you is safe there, that's fine. You can leave them there. Just make sure you have a conversation with them. And you tell them what they need to hear. If they're not safe in that space, in that memory, take them somewhere else. So that's where I'm going to take my little girl. We're going somewhere else. Once you're there, tell her again what she needs to hear. Does she need a hug? You know? Give her the words, the love, the affection, the physical touch that she needs. Now, once we're done, future you enters the scene. So this is the future version of you that you can imagine. So whether it's you in 15 years, you in 20 years, this is somebody that comes to you with a lot of wisdom, and she looks at you, and everything that you've ever dreamed of in your life has come true. Everything ended up working out for you. And she's carrying that energy of everything is going to be fine. And she comes to you, a younger version of you. What words does she need to tell you? And what words does she need to tell little you for you to be at peace, for you to feel heard, for you to feel loved? What is future you coming in the story to tell you? Now, future you has come to give you a token to remember this feeling of love and safety and an open space where you can share openly and truthfully from your heart. She's come to give you a little token. What token can little you carry? This is something you and future you're going to give little you, that she or they can carry it for their whole life. And anytime you feel like your throat is blocked and you can't express your words, or you're filtering your opinions, you will remember this token, and you'll find the strength within to fully express your words. So whatever token that may be, it may be a pair of red shoes, it may be a ring, it may be something that has an importance for your little you. And now I want you to put all of the strength that you can find in this token and connect with a feeling that you can feel currently right now in your body. Give that a feeling. For example, if it's strength, if it's courage, feel how you want to feel when you need that extra bit of empowerment to tell somebody, I actually don't want to be here right now, or to express whatever that's holding you back. Lock this feeling in the little token, give it to little you, and then get ready to say goodbye. Future you is walking off, and you can say goodbye to little you. Give each other a big hug, and now you're ready to come back to the present. To conclude this exercise, the most important thing is to use just because statements. So these statements, especially right now, after we've done this exercise, will help you release the shame, the negative feelings. It will help you acknowledge. So it's a statement that you will have to fill in with whatever sentence is suitable for you. And it starts with, just because blank doesn't mean blank. Okay, just because blank doesn't mean blank. Just because you hurt your mom for drawing that picture, it doesn't mean that any piece of art that you create will hurt people. Just because when I expressed how I felt about somebody, it created a lot of pain in somebody else, it doesn't mean that my feelings are not valid. Just because I didn't feel I was allowed to express my true thoughts, it doesn't mean that my feelings, my words are not worthy of being expressed. And you can carry on and you can carry on and you can carry on with so many just because statements. Your heart will know what you need to say. Just because I hurt somebody by saying what I, at the time, wanted to say, it doesn't mean I should never speak up again. Yeah. So I'll give you some time to make up your own statements. Just because doesn't mean that. I hope you enjoyed this exercise. You can use it. We'll go in the next few episodes. We'll go through different topics and we'll go through so much more. So I'll show you other ways that we can use this exercise or other different techniques to heal certain types of memories or traumas. But for now, I just want you guys to sit with this and just let the work do itself. You've done the memory clearing and you just need to integrate what's just popped up. So I'm going to leave you with the moral of the story and then we'll wrap up for today. Moral of the story is there's so many morals. So many morals of this story. But moral of the story is you have a voice for a reason. You are so worthy of expressing your heart, expressing your words, expressing your wisdom. You are worthy of being here. You should never let anyone stop you from expressing yourself. We have experiences in our life that make us a certain way, and you're here to share them with us. Your voice is important and your voice matters, and you should always be allowed, and by allowed I mean by yourself. You should be always free to express your voice and how you feel. So yeah, moral of the story, no matter how hurtful your inner truth may be to somebody else, you should always feel safe to express it. Okay? Unless you're gonna be mean. I'm joking. No, you should always feel like you can express your words and your voice and your truth. Don't sugarcoat stuff. Don't filter out things. Just be honest. Be truthful. And you'll see how things will go your way once you start living in your truth and you start speaking from your heart. Anyway, that concludes episode 1. Thank you so much for tuning in on Soul Revival. Go and check out the Instagram page. I'm doing this. Does that mean I'm gonna have to edit? Okay, that's gonna mean I'm gonna have to edit and like add here the bubble. I've just done some extra work for me. Okay. Yeah, don't forget to follow, like, comment. Please comment down below any memories or experiences that you would like to share after this podcast, and I hope I see you soon in the next video. Thank you so much for coming. And sorry mom, I shall call you this weekend so we can talk about this properly. Okay.